We now return with Metroid Prime 2 Trilogy Edition thing.
Okay.
We are still in the darkness.
Dark, pointy,
Ooh.
edge things. Ugh.
Yes, the ing things.
What is with the Japanese and making all these weird dark monster things that all kind of look the same?
Ooh. Another key. Let's get it. Or not. Always have to delay us. Always have to get in the way of everything we do. You... Ing!
I mean, I believe we've already kind of been over this. However, these things kind of just remind me of a lot of other things, like...
Because they're ings.
Like the black aliens from Shadow the Hedgehog, or if we're going back to Nintendo, of course, the monsters from the Twilight Realm. What are they called specifically?
The Twilight. Really? I don't know how to pronounce it because they never said it out loud.
Anyway.
Although you say that came after this, you have to remember. So
yes, but I'm just saying, all these
these dark things remind me of other dark things.
They all look the freaking same. They're pointy and tentacly and black and covered in eyes.
I'm pretty sure there's probably a Heartless that this would remind us of.
These things also look kind of like Heartless.
Sort of.
Why can't we ever just get some Lovecraftian horror up in here?
I don't know.
Probably because...
I don't know why you idiots think you can get away with doing that. You're not supposed to roll into these bubbles. You're supposed to hate the light. Oh, and by the way, that's one thing that seems rather counterintuitive about the light-dark weapon system is that, oh, these enemies are dark, they're evil in the dark world, dark-ing stuff. So I should use light weapons on them and light weapons only. No, dark weapons work fine.
But do light weapons work better?
Yes. But the thing is, you're probably going to be wasting your light weapon ammo a lot faster because of that. Why is it always purple? Why is toxic water always purple?
Well, it's purple whenever it isn't green. And, well, of course, when it's green, it's usually acid. Look at the green acid! Even though acid generally doesn't have a color. Until it starts melting something.
Green, yellow. This is I believe, alien blood acid was green.
Greenish, yes. Sort of a pale green, I think?
Yeah. Oh, great. Because we now have to rely on an ammo count for our beam weapons, which...
Wait, were we talking about the aliens from, like, Alien?
Yeah.
Yeah, the xenomorphs had pale... I think it may have been greenish, but I know it was
ammo
like
station!
Really pale blood.
Ammo station for your beam weapons.
Oh, great.
You know, I'm still not 100% sold on the whole let's have beam weapons with an ammo count thing. The ammo problem is really my issue here. There's so few places where you can actually legitimately completely fill up your ammo for either weapon. It's like, fine, I can probably put up with this and deal with the ammo count so long as I have decent ways of getting ammo back. But think I said it earlier. Your two main methods of getting ammo back are either A, those ammo stations like you just saw, or B, hitting enemies and killing them with the opposite weapon that you need ammo for. Which means you're basically wasting ammo to gain ammo. And
Well, I guess it could be worse. Somehow.
Oh, fuck yeah, now I get one of these turrets.
What do you do with this?
Fuck you!
You break things!
Yeah.
Yay! Go Samus, breaking stuff all the time, blowing things up.
Yeah. Oh, what? You know, pirates think they can shoot at me while I'm in this thing? Fuck you, idiots! This is exactly what you deserve!
Is that little bar going down, is that the ammo for the turret, or is that the...
I think that's the health for the turret. Not that it matters. I don't need it anymore. I've done my duty for the turret.
The turret must feel so used.
Well, it is. It should. It's a fucking turret. What am I supposed to fucking do with a turret? It's a turret. You shoot with a turret.
And it hits things.
Yeah. Hits things. Allows us to
Hit things.
hit things.
And move on to the next area by blowing something up. Just as Samus always does, blowing things up.
Oh, and of course, to add to that whole let's have ammo for our beam weapons, we now also get beam ammo expansions. Isn't that just lovely?
Missile expansions, beam expansions. It's all the same. We're all fine. It's fine. We're fine.
It's kind of
Just-
surprising, though, when you consider that these beam weapons are made by the Luminoth, and this is honestly the first time, chronologically, that Samus has ever used weapons and devices for her suit that are not of either Chozo or Federation origin. She's
Yeah.
She's now integrating Luminoth technology into her suit.
Yes. How does all this stuff fit together?
How is it all compatible? I don't know. I guess it's just one very well-designed power suit.
Yeah. Sure.
It would have to be if the Chozo made it. They put all of these sort of capabilities into one power suit for some human girl that they found on a lost colony. Or whatever it was. And somehow it has the power to integrate with so many different non-Chozo systems.
It just works.
It's picking up echoes still. Echoes? Echoes? Back into the darkness. Again. Like we're going to keep going back and forth between these light and dark portals to get anywhere. Which is, honestly... Again, my biggest gripe with this game, aside from its just general structure of let's go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth just to make any sort of progress. No. Let's not just go back and forth in the same areas. Let's also go back and forth in the same areas in the Dark World!
Too much repetition.
Some people defend this as just like, oh, it's a Metroid game. Backtracking is a thing, has always been a thing. Well, yeah, but usually for non-essential stuff, but believe me, this game's backtracking setup is made essential. It's just like, I believe the review I watched got it right. The basic structure of this game is like, you go into a new area, you find a power-up, you go back to the temple grounds to use said power-up to access a new power-up that you can now use in the place in the area you were before to keep going. So it's usually It's basically go into new area, find new stuff. Go back to temple, find more new stuff. Go back to the area you were at to use the power-up you just got to finish up the area.
Cool.
And don't forget to jump back and forth between the dark and the light world while you're doing this.
Sounds like an RPG.
Yeah. RPG. Well, a very poor RPG. It's like most RPGs are straightforward, and again, backtracking is kept to a minimum unless it's fairly late into said RPG, or as a result of just wanting to go out and collect some extra stuff that you might have missed before. But again, this game structures it so that it is mandatory to race back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Although from what I would, is it like very linear even in that aspect?
Yes.
It's
like, again, you can't access new areas without certain power-ups, and it's usually down to Umos to tell you where you're supposed to go next. He's not going to tell you. He's not going to be interrupting every little thing of what you do to tell you to tell you how to progress or what you're supposed to do. He basically just says, "Go next to this area. Go next to that area, and go next to the final area and whatnot." And I think that's fair enough. But again, your sense of progression does have you coming back and forth between certain areas, just to pick up the new stuff that you couldn't access before in old areas to get through the area you're supposed to be currently going through. Thankful that isn't necessarily as bad here in this first temple. But once we get to the next one, you are definitely going to notice me. You're definitely going to notice that I'm going to have to go back to the central temple ground in the middle of trying to progress through another area. And that's just, that doesn't work. But anyway, 3 temple keys have unlocked the door into the Dark Temple. And,
new worm creature to boss. And their ass is a ball. Okay.
I'm not sure that's their ass, though. Let's scan this. Thank you for not pausing to understand what that scan entailed. Enter a Morbus!
Oh, you have to scan that before it goes on the ground. That's great.
You have to scan everything. And that's... on top of everything else that makes games of the Prime series particularly tedious, especially this one, it's that you also have to remember to scan everything at the right time so that you don't miss out on it. Dark Amorbus, because...
oh, great. Like, right away, just between, in the middle of the battle.
Right in the middle of the fucking fight, it goes from big, ugly monster creature to dark, big, ugly monster creature. Oh, boy.
And then it...
enjoy your indigestion!
well, this would be the first or the last time that Samus defeats a creature that way. I imagine. Actually, wait, would it be that? I don't know what else happens in this game. I don't pay enough attention.
I don't blame you. Ow! And if I recall correctly, I actually had to spawn several times for the recording, simply because I was rather reckless my first couple of times. Like, I admit one of the problems with this game are its bosses, and it's not so much being able to understand the puzzle elements, we're in the dark world. Being in the dark world drains your health. And on top of that, you have to worry about things like attacking boss attacks, avoiding that in order to... the stuff that can drain your health just from fighting a boss. But we're in a world that's constantly sapping away your health anyway.
I don't know, that kind of sounds more annoying than, like, challenging, really.
It adds to the challenge, but not in a way that I feel is...
Not in a positive way?
No, just an irritating way. Just one of those things where... like, really? Did we need this extra did we really need this added stipulation? Especially this early on in the game where I don't have any way to defend myself against the effects of Dark Aether. Open wide!
Now, why does it do this again when it already got hurt badly the first time?
It may not be the same one. Remember, there were 3 of them.
Oh, I see. The two of them disappeared for a while.
And really, you expect boss creatures to have smart strategy?
Is it over?
You know, something about this fucking fight that I'm thinking now I should have taken advantage of is that, you know, they're dropping a lot of ammo power-ups. Maybe I should actually be using either my light or dark beam on these things. Granted, missiles are doing the job fast enough as it is. But, you know. It's like, why do I have light and or dark ammo for any reason? But I'm not going to use it. Well, I'm not going to use it because I have limited ammo! It's like, it would be fine if I got ammo back for everything that I killed with the same weapon. But that's not the case. I'm getting ammo back for the opposite weapon for everything that I kill with the weapon that I'm currently using. I get light ammo after I kill things with a dark weapon. I get dark ammo after I kill things with a light weapon. It's just like, this game is designed to waste your time.
Well...
This boss fight is a clear example of that.
It never really... Given that this is a...
Will you fuckers die already?
There's nothing really... You know, from a design standpoint, this just isn't pleasant, because all you really do throughout this entire fight is stand in one place and just kind of wait for them to appear and shoot at them.
Well, I can rush between the different bubbles, and I probably should, given that they keep knocking me out of this one.
Well, I mean, if you were rushing between the bubbles, you'd be losing health faster.
Yes, and I'm not gaining health back as fast as I'm losing it. I think it takes maybe 1.5 or 2 seconds or something. Either way, my health drains faster when directly exposed to the atmosphere than it gains back by standing in these bubbles. This thing die already, please! Okay, now we have back to its dark form, and there's all 3 of them here now, so... Squirm, you worms. Dance of the laser ow!
Again, my memory isn't great for this game.
What memory?
Well, yeah, what memory? But all I've ever done is, like, watch you play it. And,
Okay,
honestly,
yeah, light weapon does the trick real fast right there.
Honestly, well, maybe.
No, the funny thing is, my
Maybe-
health doesn't drain at all while I'm inside the darn thing.
Well, if it did, you'd probably be pretty screwed. But
I know, but it's just... Of all the things that are currently causing me harm, being inside the creature's gullet is not one of them.
well, it seems now you're using. Is this boss fight just taking so long because you're not using light weapons?
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it might have been. To be honest, it just seems like the boss fight itself kind of gets boring. It's boring. It's just annoying.
Don't expect that to change anytime soon. Oh god!
I mean, I wouldn't call this game bad. It's just, from what I've seen, it's not great or pleasant.
Power up. What is this?
I mean, I suppose it doesn't help that you're also trying to 100% it, as you always do in these cases. But, you know, that's the trouble, is that if you don't 100%, you'll have the sort of people that want 100% everything always complaining, and if you avoid it, then you have more fun and you complain less about the game.
Well, another thing is that's just the sort of style I like to do. Is I'm more exploratory than I am like a speedrunner type of thing. I think we've been over this. It's just that I
on the
prefer,
other hand,
what the heck is this?
I think in games, a player should really
What
be
in
more,
the world?
A player should really be inclined to
Want to
complete everything.
To want to complete everything rather than feel obligated to do so because the game sort of shames you. And this is one of those games where it seems more like the game is shaming me for not wanting to do that versus me wanting to do that because I find it a deep and interesting world enough to actually go after that kind of stuff. But anyway, that's what we did.
At least you got a new suit.
Yeah, new suit, which I'm sure we'll get into as we go on. But for now, that's the end of this part.
Yo-yo suit, ahoy.
Giant Cinnabon shoulders.
Oh.
But anyway, we'll talk more. I'm sure we'll discuss this more next time on Let's Play Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Trilogy Edition. So thank you all for watching. RCFS and out.